what else stood out in terms of
in those
what, like,
couple episodes.
yeah, in that first episode, like, what
Oh, in the
really
first
else stood
episode.
out
Um,
other than the plot point?
honestly, ding. Honestly, it was Luffy's personality.
Okay.
So
That was a
I think that beginning kind of builds up, especially in the
okay.
anime. Like you meet a lot of characters who eventually might come back, might not. Uh,
Yeah.
but it builds up his personality and makes you understand him as a person. At
Right.
least in those first, like, I would say maybe 4 or 5 arcs, like,
Right.
it's like, "Okay, this is who he is, this is who he is," and he's growing, he's growing, he's growing, but you get a good idea of who he is, and I think they did a really good job of that in the first episode of, like, especially the actor kid who I think I've mentioned to you, he grew on me. I didn't like
Yeah.
him at first, and he grew on me. I was like, "This guy
Yeah.
might be able to pull it off. I don't think this is an act. I think this is who he is."
Yeah, because you mentioned that multiple times over and over again as we've been talking
Mhm.
about it. You've always said, "I need Luffy to be Luffy's personality."
Yeah.
That was a big catch for you. If it didn't feel like a good Luffy, it probably would have fell apart for you. Am I wrong?
No, 100%, because you gotta understand in the anime. And they did a good job of this in the show over all the episodes, or at least the first 2 in the live action,
Right.
which
Mhm.
is he grabs all these different personalities, different kinds of personalities. And like you saw, Zoro was a pirate hunter, right? We saw that
Yes.
in the first episode that he was a pirate hunter. He was essentially a bounty
Right.
hunter who
Which
sold
I took
was
more
on.
for a bounty hunter,
Yeah,
right?
that's what it
Like,
is. He's a
and that's that key
bounty
switch
hunter that's specifically hits pirates bounties.
because they have the biggest bounties, right?
Right. Exactly.
But what you find out quick is that Zoro has a moral code,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Yeah, I'll kill a fucking pirate because they are worth a lot of money, and normally pirates are fucking bad.
Yeah,
So
so
why
it's
not have
why
that
not?
perspective on
Yeah,
pirate?" Which I thought they displayed very well because that's what I picked up on.
right.
As seeing Zoro, it's a motherfucker who's obviously a swordsmith, and he obviously doesn't like pirates, but his normal perspective and everybody else's perspective on pirates is these dudes are fucking assholes.
Yeah, and the whole thing about him and his personality and why it's so important is because, like, you saw Zoro and his different personality, like, he doesn't fit the pirate mold in your head, and then you meet
Yeah.
Nami, and you even see, like, she's a
She
thief.
has some pirate
She
aspects.
does, but she's a thief, right? And
Yes.
then even at the end of episode 2, she makes that call and she's like, "Hey, I got the map." And she ain't
Right.
Dora, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
this bitch
Like
ain't Dora, she shouldn't have no map. There's the map,
right.
there's the map, there's the map.
Well, and that's crazy because again, Nami has the
You
most.
better look at me. It's the map.
You really had to do that,
I
didn't
did,
you?
it's the map, baby.
Oh my lord. It's because he's fucking Brazilian. That's
Yes,
why.
sir. Hey, it's what I do, baby boo.
Dora. That's how that's how he's promoting the One
Yeah,
Piece. But
go ahead.
yeah, so Nami to me, Zoro had the whole like I'm just morally sound
Right,
and I'll kill some motherfuckers who are bad for some money.
right.
Whereas Nami struck me from not having seen any of the anime as I have pirate qualities, quite literally. Like I'm about
Yeah,
that life in terms of a pirate, but I'll only do it to pirates. Whereas pirates will do it to anybody.
right,
So
okay.
she has that moral block where she'll be like,
Yeah,
I am a pirate, low key,
yep.
but I have that block where I'm not just gonna fucking do it to anybody.
Right, and the whole reason Luffy and his personality is so important is because not all those people should be pirates, and not all of them should mold together. And you'll see as he brings more people on the crew, you're like,
Uh-huh.
"How does this work?" And it's because they buy into him and who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And there's like he's like the big glue because it was like he's the perfect choice for a captain because of the way he is. Like he people will gravitate to him.
And he
And
molds to each person is what it feels like.
I wouldn't say he does.
'Cause he was different
And
in my opinion to Nami than he was to
right.
Zoro
See, I would say
in the live action.
it's more like a respect, so they mold to him. Like, they respect him so much, they mold over to him. Like you saw
Okay.
in season 2, right? Or at season 2, episode 2. Remember when he saves everybody from Buggy and he
Mhm.
goes into the tent and he's letting everybody go?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be letting us go." And he's like, "I thought you were a pirate. You shouldn't be letting us go." And he's like, "I'm not that kind of pirate."
Yeah.
And so, like, all these people, you start to see these things about him, and you see the code that he has, and he's so respected for it. They all kind of mold to him, and he's kind of what holds him. He's the perfect captain for what he ends up doing. And so, his personality is key. So, if his
Right.
personality isn't nailed down, then the show's going to be trash. If he's not believable as that kind of
Right.
person, then the whole
Uh-huh.
show goes out the water. It doesn't matter how good anybody else is.
Right. No, I can definitely see how you see it as people molding to him.
Yeah.
Um, the only way I see it is
Right, and it's
he
interesting because
right,
you've only seen these episodes of the live action, so go ahead.
exactly.